great evening, and great evening once again. Welcome to the Sonya Dungee podcast, where conversation is always the essence of the soul. I am your host, Sonya Dungee, and of course, yes, I am still bringing that heat to the IG, the YouTube, the the IG, the YouTube, the Facebook, and now the TikTok streets. So I want to thank you for joining tonight. And for those of you who don't know who I am, who are joining for the first time, my name, of course, is Sonya Dungee, and I have a story to tell. My story, if you will, began on Saturday, January the 23rd of 2021, back at the VA hospital on a Saturday in Northport, New York. And as I sat reluctantly at my dad's bedside, holding his hand reluctantly because I knew what was to come, I witnessed a tear roll down his cheek. And in that moment, he took his last breath here on this earth, knowing it was his first breath in heaven. As a result, I quickly spiraled into a very dark place, distant, dark, isolated. And I remained there for 342 days, stuck. Do the math, that's 365 in a year. So it was almost a year before I did anything other than I was doing that hamster or that gerbil on the wheel, just going around and around in circles, doing the very least every day. It was at the height of the pandemic, so I was working from home, so I never had to leave the house. And I would just leave my bedroom, walk across the living room into my shisha room, do my tour, shut everything down at the end of the day, walk back across the living room into my bedroom, shut the door, and I remained there until the next day. As a result, I lost a lot of weight. I had 3 beautiful grandchildren. Now I'm blessed with 4. Didn't spend any time with them. I just avoided conversations with family and friends. I didn't want them to grieve anymore. So if I figured if I held it in and how I was really feeling, they wouldn't know and I wouldn't be a burden to them. I was running back and forth to National Cemetery, to the Calabarium Wall where my dad's ashes were entombed, just to feel that sense of closeness there. It wasn't until enough became enough, and I knew I couldn't do it anymore. I knew I could not do it anymore. Reason being is because I know that God brought me here for a purpose, and I wasn't answering to my calling. I was just existing. And so at that point, I sought help from a mentor. I invested in myself. I found a community of supported, loving, like-minded, non-judgmental people. I showed up to my classes. I never missed a class till this day. I was intentional. I was focused because I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad. And as a result of that is the reason why I'm sitting here in front of you. I'm a transformational coach. And I get to help those that are suffering in silence, that are isolated, that are directionless. They don't know what direction, the same way I felt. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know I could look at a podcast. I didn't know about podcasts. I didn't know about anything. I just knew that I needed help. So as a result, I get to help people just like me go from the isolation, the darkness, the distance, the not knowing which way to turn and what to do and how to feel, so that they can become the very best versions of themselves. And I'm blessed. And that's why we're here today at episode 199. So I'm just gonna, before we really get started, because we have a lot to discuss today, I just want to pop in because I don't want to miss anyone. I see that Harlem has joined. Thank you so much. I see Jacksonville, Florida in the building, times two. Um, I see North Carolina in the building as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. And so that I don't forget anyone, going over to a different platform really, really, really quick. So I can do the same there and shout you out as promised. Okay. I see Miami has entered the building as well. Thank you so much for that. So we're going to move right along. But before I actually begin, there's something really exciting that I want to talk to you about, and I want to make sure that I don't forget. So in that, tonight we're at episode 199. Obviously, next Wednesday, which is Christmas Eve, we are going to be having a special at a special time, and we've decided on 6 p.m. To be respectful of people's Christmas Eve, but we also want to celebrate the Sonya Dungee podcast at episode number 200. So if you're free, please join us next Wednesday, Christmas Eve at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If not, you could watch the replay, but we're super excited about celebrating the 200th episode next week. And I want to thank all of you for that, because without you, it would have never happened. I wouldn't be where I am today, speaking to you, appreciating all of you, your comments, your DMs, your text messages, your phone calls. If you don't see me at a certain time, a few minutes after 8, you're on that phone or you're texting me. I love it. Thank you so much. It means everything to me. I see DC, you have also joined. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you and your support. So tonight is a reminder to all of you that a broken crayon, it still colors. It might be broken, but it still colors, and it colors beautifully. And so in tonight's episode, Just Say No in Order to Color Grow, we are going to be talking about saying no. And this was prompted by a conversation that I had with a dear friend of mine that is definitely a brother to me. And I love the conversations that we have because there's always some learning and growing to be done. And I told him, you know what? I'm going to do a podcast episode about just saying no. So I want to thank you. Harlem is in the house. You know who you are. Love and appreciate you always. And thank you for that. So in the No in Order to Color and Grow, sometimes the most powerful yes you can give yourself begins with a no. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes the most powerful yes you can give yourself begins with a no. You see, if you've been overwhelmed, if you've been stretched thin, or if you've been afraid that choosing yourself might disappoint others, this episode is for you. You see, many of us, especially women, were taught while growing up that saying no is selfish. Saying no is selfish. You see, we often say yes just to keep the peace. We say yes to avoid guilt. Yes, we're strong, we're capable, and we can handle it. But here's the hard truth. You see, every unnecessary yes, it drains the color from our lives. When you're constantly allowing yourself to be overextended, you're not growing. You're just surviving. And surviving doesn't have room for creativity. Surviving doesn't have room for healing. And surviving doesn't have room for joy. I'm speaking from experience. Okay. I was that yes. Okay. I like to describe it as Mikey from the Life commercial. Whatever somebody else doesn't want to do, oh, Mikey likes it, Mikey's going to do it. I was that Mikey. I didn't want to say no. I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And sometimes I darn sure didn't want to do it. But I did. You see, I was that yes girl. Became a yes woman. And today, I'm here to tell you differently. You see, I have a question for you. How many of you out there know what saying no, N-O, actually does for you? Does anybody know? If you do, please put it in the chat. While you're doing that, I'm going to pop by, see if anybody else has. Just say no, brilliant. Yes, we do say yes just to keep the peace. And so many of us can relate to Mikey. That's for sure. That is definitely for sure. So I'm going to help you out here. You see, when you begin to say no, something powerful happens. You reclaim your time. You protect your energy. And you create space to grow. Saying no doesn't mean that you don't care. It means you care enough about your purpose, about your peace, and about your future to stop pouring from an empty cup. You see, in growth, it requires non-negotiables and set boundaries. Color requires space. You have to have space on that masterpiece page. You can't continue coloring over everyone else's lines and expect your picture to be colorfully clear. And you know, in so many podcasts, we talked about Color My World, and we talked about coloring inside the lines, and sometimes we color outside the lines. But your masterpiece will not be colorfully clear if you don't know how to set boundaries and just say no. Nancy Reagan said no. We all didn't listen, but I remember when my children were in elementary school, the two older ones, I was the co-president of Just Say No. Can you imagine that? And in that instance, yes, we were talking about drugs with Just Say No in that era with Nancy Reagan. But the message of just saying no, I didn't get it. I got it when it came to drugs. I taught my children that. We had after school classes. Like I said, myself and my friend Lori, we were the co-presidents of it. But to equate just say no outside of that, Sonya never got that. It took me many years to get that it was okay to say no to other things. And we're not talking about the drug scene once again. I was good with that. So tonight, I'm going to give you 6 steps, 6 clear steps to say no without guilt or without shame. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to give you 6 steps tonight that you can clearly use consistently without feeling guilty or feeling shamed. And I'm popping back and forth again because I don't want to lose, especially on one of the platforms. Once we close down, we close down. Just say no. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, that word no. That word no. And I know it's hard for us to say, and no. We can talk about what I can no, K-N-O-W, no all day. But when it comes to N-O, we lose it. So this will help you. So number 1, pause before you answer. I made this number 1 for a reason, because this is something that I have to think about all the time, because my mouth will start to say yeah before I could think to say no. And if I don't stop before I answer, there I am. I'm doing something that I know darn well that I don't want to do. And my grandmother always told me this, and I see it's come to pass. She always said to me, Sonya, always be careful of what it is that your mouth says that your behind won't be able to get you out of. And I understand it now. Before I was like, what is she talking about? Okay, grandma, but I get it, grandma. God rest her soul. I get it. So we're going to pause before we answer, because you see, you don't owe anyone an instant response. You don't. Create some space before you say yes or no, and you can respond with, let me check my capacity and I'll get back to you. I love that. Let me check your capacity. Let me check my capacity before I get back with you. That sounds so freeing to me. I was like, what? It might not be well received, but at the end of the day, who cares? You're being honest. You didn't come right out and say no. You're checking your capacity first. So you paused. And this pause protects you from the automatic people pleasing, something that I was guilty with for many, many, many years. Now, not so much. I could say no in a minute and not even feel bad about it. Because trust me, people come for me. I'm an office floor manager for one organization. I'm a this for another. They're like, oh, Sonya will do it. Let me check my capacity first. I'll get back to you. And number 2, check your capacity, not your feelings. Check your capacity, not those feelings of yours. Ask yourself one honest question. Do I have the energy? Do I have the time or peace to do this? If the answer is no, listen to it. Listen to it. You see, your feelings of exhaustion, it's not a character flaw. It's a signal. And at the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself. Remember that self-care. Remember that self-love. Because if you don't look out for yourself, who else is going to? Number 3, decide without explaining. I love this one. You see, you don't need to provide, a long, drawn out story. You don't got to give an essay. No apologies. No over justification. And trust me, I was good for that. Well, I can't today because I have this and because I have class. And see, my classes are non negotiable. Anybody who knows me knows my classes on Monday because I'm a forever student. I show up for every class, whether it's my class or another class, a newer class. And my Thursdays, that time in there, I can't do anything else. If it's not a house on fire, if I'm not being rushed to the emergency room at a hospital, don't come for me. Don't ask for me. My family can tell you. I cannot do it. That's a non-negotiable for me because I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today if that wouldn't have been a non-negotiable for me. So again, your feelings of exhaustion it's not a character flaw, it's a signal. Number 3, again, is decide without explaining. And I'm going over these 2 specifically because you might want to write them down because these were very hard for me. I wish I would have had somebody to tell me this long ago. But you don't have to explain why you can't do something. You just can't do it. That's a no. And I see some of you who are on there and you've had conversations with me. And I hope this is resonating with you. If you're getting value, as stated before, please drop that in the comment. If you can relate, please, by all means, drop that in the comment as well as a breakthrough or an aha moment because I want to know. Because I know there's more people out there. That was me. You can even put a that's me. Or you can DM me, that's me. I just want to make sure that you're getting it and you're not in denial. Because we've all been there. Yes, I'm glad you checked your capacity before your feelings. Thank you so much. I'm glad it's resonating. I'm glad that it's relating. You're getting value. Absolutely. Thank you. So, number 4. Speak with kindness, not guilt. Speak with kindness, not guilt. You can be loving yet firm all at the same time. Answer with, I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm not able to commit. You see, kindness does not require self-betrayal. Because if you do it and you know that you're not up to it or you just don't want to do it, you just betrayed your own self. Number 5, release that need to be liked. I'm going to say that one again too. Release the need to be liked. Everyone won't understand your no. And you know what? It's a-okay. Not everybody's going to understand, or they might very well understand. They just don't want to hear it. You see, the people who benefit from your lack of boundaries may very well request them of you. Growth often comes with discomfort. Choose your peace over approval. And my daughter's on here, and I'm just keeping it 100. She gets on me to this day. She reminds me to this day, Mom, you're doing too much. Mom, this, Mom. Brittany, you are absolutely correct. And I've been self-checking that. And I do say no now. You know, I say no now. But thank you. And that's all part of community. That's all about being accountable and having an accountability partner to keep you in check. Number 6, replace the no with a yes to yourself. Replace the no with a yes to yourself. Just saying it, just hearing it, it sounds wonderful, doesn't it? It sounds wonderful. I'm popping back here. I'm glad you're still receiving the value. Yes, choose your peace over approval. My my daughter took 39 years, better late than never. You see that? And I know that's right. Replace the no with a yes to myself. Absolutely. I told you, my daughter will keep me in check. So, in the end, no, it creates space for better. No creates space for better. Okay. It's better rest. It's for better healing. It's for better creativity. It's for better growth. Remind yourself, when I say no to this, whatever the this is, I am saying yes to me. So I want to ask this question of you. This is going to be thought provoking. At least it's meant to. And think about it long and hard. You don't have to answer it now. What is one area of your life where you've been saying yes out of guilt? And how would your life look like if you started saying no instead? I'm going to ask that of you again. What is one area of your life where you've been saying yes out of guilt? And how would your life look if you started saying no instead? Just let that resonate. Gotta have your people. Yes. I know that's right. Replace the no with a yes to myself. Absolutely. And listen, I'm not here saying anything to you that I haven't been guilty of myself, because I have. I have. So saying no, it's not shutting doors. It's opening up the right ones. It's opening up the right ones. So with this tonight, I hope you give permission to yourself to choose peace and color your world on your own terms. Remember to always be destined for greatness, your very best. And on that note, stay safe, stay well. God bless you all. Remember, episode 200, we're going to celebrate Christmas Eve next Wednesday at a special time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing all of you there to celebrate. And bye for now.